friends. Good day. Hope you're well, and welcome to another lesson with Uncle Joe. Music made manageable. Remember to share, and you find something that you like, you tell others about it. Right? All of us benefit. Yeah, that's what life is all about. We all need each other. Yes. Right. So we're gonna look at accidentals. Yes, we're gonna look at accidentals and how we use them, how we employ them to name notes. All right? Accidentals. We said in our lesson that accidentals are sharps, flats, and naturals. Those are accidentals, right? Sharps, flats, and naturals. And they have varying uses. And we're going to look at that now. Remember when we did the keyboard? And this is just a partial keyboard. So you will notice that I didn't start to name the notes from C, the white keys. Excuse me, I started from E. So it's a partial keyboard. Some keyboards start from C, some start from other letters, A, etc. Good. So the lesson in which we did the keyboard, we did tones and semitones, to be exact. Yes, we did tones and semitones. We use the keyboard to show the space. What's a semitone distance? What's a tone distance? Right? And I named the white keys that I had on the keyboard, but I didn't name the black keys. Right? So we're gonna look at that now. We did accidentals. I'm gonna show what accidentals do. Now, we said that a sharp raises a note by a semitone, right? Sharp raises a note by a semitone. So what do we mean? We said a semitone is the shortest space between two notes, right? Shortest. So let's say we want to raise the note F, right? We want to raise F by a semitone. We want to take it higher, right? Then we will go to, we're going higher, so we're going to the key to your right, the very next key to your right, because that's the distance of a semitone, right? The very next key. So this is F. If you want to go up a semitone or raise F by a semitone, we'll take the note up one step to the nearest key, because that's what a sharp does. Sharp takes to the very next key. So F, that would be here. This note, since we raise the F, we raise the F by a semitone, then we call it F sharp. Right? This is really F sharpened. So this is F and this is F sharp, which is higher, as you can see. As the notes appear on the keyboard, that tells you they're higher or lower. So as you go to your right, the notes go higher. All right, so here we have F sharp. And then, should we want to raise A? We want to raise A by a semitone. What do we do? Find A, and since the semitone dictates that we go to the very next, we go here. That's the very next note. And that note there would be A sharp. Not just A. This is A. But an A with a sharp will take you there, because semitone takes you up. You have to move. Right? Remember, tones and semitones are intervals or spaces. You have to move. Alright, so that's how we use sharps. How do we use the flats? Now, just keep in mind the definition, right, of what a flat is, what it does, what a sharp does. A flat does what? Lowers a note by a semitone, right? So whilst a sharp takes you up to the very next key, a flat brings you down to the very next key. So where would we find this note? Where would we find B flat? And that's how we write B flat. can write B flat like that, or we can write B flat. Same thing. Where would you find B flats? So we simply look for B, and since a flat takes you back one semitone, you just come back to the very next key. So B is here, back to the very next key. So it should be the same note. Craziness, huh? Here's where music gets you confused. I understand, but don't get confused as yet. Right, so we find that this note, this particular note, has two names so far. So far, yes. So far it has two names, right? It can be B flat, or it can be A sharp, right? It can be B flat, or it can be A sharp. See it? Now, I know what's going on in your head now. So why we name them differently? Because they can be used in different contexts, right? Scales, this is by the way, scales, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Yes, those are scales. That's how we use, that's solfege name, right? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do is the same as, is what we sing for any scale, right? Scales are what we use to write music. So anyone wants to write a piece of music, they want to write it, put it on the score, they choose a scale, a particular scale that suits their voice if they're performing it, or the person who's performing it voice, or the based on the range of the band, what accompaniment they're using, right? So they will choose a scale accordingly. So we have different scales. So B flat will occur in a different, in one scale. A sharp would occur in another scale, right? They're different contexts. They're used in different contexts. Though if I ask you to play on an instrument, whatever instrument you will play, right? And we'll get into that later on. But if I ask you to play on your instrument A sharp, I expect you to play this. A sharp, I expect you to play this. If I ask you to play on that said instrument B flat, you'll play the same note, because it's the same place. B flat and A sharp is, or I don't know if it is or are the same place, because they're two different notes, but it's the same note, right? But in a certain context, in a certain scale, if I write this note on a musical staff and I ask you to name it, and you name it B flat, it can be wrong. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Don't get too flustered. We'll get to that. That will be made so simple. This is just, by the way, I'm giving you a heads up. All right, so we have two different names for the black keys, basically, right? Similarly, if I add a flat to G flat, I find the G and the flat, the action of the flat, or the meaning of the flat, it means to go back one semitone to the nearest key on the keyboard, right? We're using the keyboard here. So find G and come back to the nearest key. That will take me right here, G flat. Getting it now? So the notes, the black keys, are either the letter before it, sharp, or the letter after it, flat. That's simply it. We'll do some more of this. Don't hurt your head. Just try to grasp it. Comment in the comment section. Ask me your questions. But whether you ask or not, we're going to do more of it. So it will sink in. It will, get into your head. Well, right? So let me do one or two more. Where can we find don't want to hurt your heads yet, right? But I'll do it. Where can we find B sharp? Let's say B sharp, because later on in your music journey, you'll find such notes, right? we said there's no black key between B and C, E and F. Those are natural semitones. But if we follow the guideline, right, of the sharp, you said the sharp takes you to the very next key. So we find B, and the very next key happens to be here, because there's no black key. So C is also B sharp. Huh. Yes. C is also B sharp. Right? So that's why the knowing what the accidentals do is important. Right? So it guides you. Just follow that. You can't go wrong. And that's why you need a keyboard. The diagram of a keyboard, you need it. So you can do your calculations. Right? This is like a calculator when it comes to tones and semitones, constructing scales. The keyboard is like a calculator. All right, I'll leave you there. I'll leave you with this for today. We'll do some more of this. Right, we still have to do the natural sign, how we use that. All right, but I'll take you through any comments, any questions you have, any query. Comment, and I'll get back to you. All right. So take care of yourselves, have fun with music. Remember, any instrument you want to do, we can do that. We'll get some practicals done. We're laying the foundation of the theory so that we can build upon it and do the instruments. So don't worry yourselves. This is important. Take good care of yourselves. And this is Uncle Joe saying bye. See you next time.